This video is about my Golden Globe race journey so far. Less than a year before the start of the 2018 Golden Globe race, I got a phone call from my brother John, and he told me about the Golden Globe race and it was starting, and the conversation went on. But once the phone call was over, I googled the Golden Globe race, and straight away I wanted to do it. I thought, why dream and don't do? I remember thinking that. It's something my father used to say, and it stuck with me. And then I came up with all reasons why I shouldn't do the Golden Globe race. Money, family, health, age, all different kind of reasons. But one by one, I went in reverse and I figured out, well, that's not a major problem. I could get over it and I could try. So I decided, do the dream. It was always a dream, do the dream. And I said I was going to try. I didn't tell anyone at this stage, but I started to watch the build up to the Golden Globe race, and my wife knew this, and I used to be telling her about it subconsciously. Not that I was trying to get her to come on my side, but it was just an interest I had, and I was talking about it, and I was gone down the rabbit hole, as a friend of mine said, and it was a fantastic time. It reawoke a dream in me that I had when I was young, that I could sail around the world in a race, and that dream had disappeared because of life and family and marriage and everything, all good things. And really, ocean racing became checkbook racing. It was out of my league. Like the Vendée Globe would be 10 to 20 million if you were going to be competitive. It was a fantastic dream. Little did I realise that I would actually get there at that time. The first person I told that I was thinking of doing it was my wife, and straight away she said, go for it. 3 days later she said, if you want to sell the house to do it, do. Jeepers, I thought, I hope I would be as kind if she had some daft idea. Didn't tell anyone else for a while, but straight away I started looking at boats. I want to be competitive, so I knew I needed a 36-foot boat. I wouldn't go on a 32-foot, just personally, because of the waterline and the speed. Looking for the boats was very interesting. I started to look at boats here, there and everywhere, and started working on my budget. I knew if I bought the boat at the right price, I would have enough to pay for the boat and pay my entry fee and have a few bob left over. And lucky enough, after quite a lot of really enjoyable time searching, I found the Saltram Saga 36, and I'm still so happy with that choice. I bought the boat in the lake north of Amsterdam. At the end of March, I came down through Amsterdam city, out into the North Sea and down the English Channel. My brother Jim came with me as far as Cherbourg. We had a fantastic sail down English Channel. Jim hopped off there and went home in the ferry, and I sailed down to Les Sables for the prize given of the 2018 Golden Globe race. Really enjoyed the sail because I got to know the boat, and I got to love the boat more and more each mile I went. Here is a clip from that time. Lovely morning here in the Bay of Biscay. Tuesday morning. Sun is just up on the broad reach. It's going much better during the night. I had no stay sail up. I was doing 7 to 8 knots. Doing 6 now with stay sail. Wind has eased a bit. Lovely weather. Be nice to get into Les Sables after sailing down from Amsterdam. Beat all the Golden Globe people. So yeehaw! After a mighty fantastic week in Les Sables, a beautiful, beautiful place. Made so many fantastic new friends. I sailed back home to Ireland. On the day I left Les Sables, there was a bad storm due to hit Ireland in 3.5 days' time. But I knew if I waited, I'd have had to wait a long time. It was still early in the year, it was April. Here is a little bit of footage from that time sailing home. La Corona in the distance. Homeward bound. Yahoo! Nice light breeze. Done about six knots maybe. It's good to get home to the old sod. Harry's working away behind like a dream. I got 3.5 days of this. Might make it home, but I won't. There's a bit of a gale coming when I get to Ireland if the forecast is right. So yeehaw! 4.5 years ago, time flies, only seems like yesterday. I managed to get into Ireland before the storm hit, so that was all good. A week later I sailed up to Limerick for Riverfest, fantastic festival. A friend of mine, Kieran Ryan, is involved in the organisation of it. While there I was tied up in Limerick docks. It's a working dock, but they're kind enough to let me in now and again. It does annoy me that since they built a new bridge in Limerick, there is no place to tie up. a sailing boat. They went into Flannery's boatyard, the only yard there was in Limerick. It must be the only place in Shannon you can't tie up a yacht. They closed the dock for that weekend because they leave in the Navy as well. Someday, I believe they will build a marina off the Clarion Hotel. It'll be great for Limerick City, great for the hotel as well, and the sooner the better. It's a fantastic city and deserves a marina. Going back up to Limerick is always special. It's the city I was born and reared in, have a lot of friends in, and you can stop on the trip up in Foynes, Skeeton, Kilrush, Tarbert, many more places that I have great childhood memories in. It's a beautiful river, the biggest river in the British Isles, and it's 60 miles from Limerick down to the coast. So it's a spectacular place. It was fantastic and amazing to be back up in Limerick City as a Golden Globe race entrant in the boat I had purchased for the race. It was nice. But it got more special. A good friend of mine, Eamon Andrews, called down to the dock to the boat, and he came on board and he told me he thought that I would win and he wanted to give me €1,000. Blew me away. Such a kind gesture. More than the kindness and more than the money was the fact that people were going to help me. And Eamon was the start of them, and many, many more came in afterwards. I was just home when Jan Duggan came and gave me another 1,000. They both gave me more money afterwards. People are so kind. After a lovely few days in Limerick, visiting my mother and meeting up with family and friends, I sailed back home to the Kingdom of Kerry. On the way up and down the Shannon, I usually stop in Kilrush, Tarbert and Foynes in particular. I remember Foynes Yacht Club, and my boat has Foynes Yacht Club on the back of it. I did a sailing course in Foynes when I was young. I remember that with fondness and it stood to me. It's a really good active club, so it's lovely to stop in and get the welcome I get in Foynes. After leaving the Golden Globe race and stopping in Cape Town, I presented them with a Foynes Yacht Club burgee and got one in return. I love to stop in the Skeeton also, but I haven't made it up there since I got the boat. It's a bit shallow going up. I could get up no bother at high tide, but I just haven't managed. But I'm looking forward to getting up to the Skeeton to see all my cousins. My mother is from the Skeeton. Sailing up and down the Shannon is fantastic. Brings back great memories of my youth, and there's many other great towns to stop in. Down the bottom you have Carrigaholt and Kilbaha. I love stopping in there. Glynn, another great stop, and Lahal, and there's so many brilliant places. Worth spending a week in the Shannon for anyone who ever wants to go cruising. I picked the boat for safety, and it is a fantastic boat. It would be slower in light airs, but in heavy airs it'll make up. Interesting, if the self-steering didn't give trouble, I would have been into Cape Town the same time as Tapio and Kristen, within hours either side. So I was well ahead of the rustlers, and I was delighted with that, because the Southern Ocean would be the best time, I think, for the Saltram Saga 36. It will stand out there, I believe, in the fresher winds. I was disappointed I couldn't keep going in the 2022 race, but the Golden Globe race in 22 will stand to me in 26. I know that. So it's good to have the experience. It's great to trust your boat. But at this point, I'm back home in Ireland after buying the boat in Amsterdam, sailing it to France, sailing it back home to Dingle, sailing it to Limerick and back down home. So in the next video, I'll continue on from here about my journey to the start of the 22 race. It will include preparing the mast for the Southern Ocean, fundraising, food, all the preparation for the Golden Globe race in 22. As I said before, my time management wasn't great, but I have learned a lot from my 22 journey, and I know I will continue to learn. I would also like to thank Kieran Ryan, who took so many fantastic photos for me, many of them seen here in these videos. Hopefully you will like this, and if you do, please like and share and comment. Thank you very much for watching. Slán Tamil.